Good morning, and welcome to Mr. DCast's introduction to setting writing. Just wanted to introduce you to this beautiful picture I found on Pixabay.com of a small town in Austria, famous for its mozzarella. Anyhow, one of the big things when we're talking about settings, you have to keep in mind is what is the purpose of your writing. Because maybe it's for a specific story, maybe you're doing it for, I don't know, an article, or maybe you're just having fun creating some settings that you can come back to eventually in a creative writing bank. So one of the big things with this is all about perspective. So your purpose is going to have to lead to some perspective, especially for if it's a character's perspective, or if, again, you're just a neutral third party trying to have some fun writing. Oof. Okay, I'm having trouble writing here today. Okay, so perspective, one of those things. One of those things we can talk about is maybe, are you down here in the village and looking around, or are you on the mountain? So in that case, it's going to depend on where you're starting from. When you're talking about colors and weather and buildings, from this picture right here, we're going to talk more about if we're just having fun, just writing. So one of the things I do when I just immediately look at a picture is I usually go top down. So immediately I see that those pinks and purples of that setting sun or sunrise, moving on to the orange light as it hits the mountains, and it just kind of makes those mountains pop with that kind of fiery embers. Looks like it's a cloudy day, and it looks like they're very light clouds, not really much risk of rain, as far as I know. When we look at the buildings, we can see that the buildings are fairly modern. We've got a nice, solid, kind of concrete road here. As well, the buildings, we have a main church, which looks to be the tallest point in the town. We've got probably some hotels and restaurants, some outbuildings for the farms, and just some smaller houses. Time period-wise, like I said, there's that road, so we're probably thinking 20th, 21st century. That being said, if you're writing, depending on your purpose, it's all about maybe altering it to suit your purpose. Maybe instead of that concrete road, you're going to write about a gravel road or a dirt road. Maybe that's not a church. Maybe it's a fortified castle. Up to you. Other things we can talk about are what nature you're seeing. Obviously, we see some trees, some fields. We can tell by the fact that these fields look like there's nothing growing, that it's probably early in the spring. Maybe the seeds have been planted and they're just starting to bud. And maybe you want to talk about how would you interact with the scene. Maybe you're more interested in the mountains because you're a mountain climber. Maybe you're more interested in the town because you're a traveler and you're just wanting to stay the night. Maybe you live in the town and you need to go foresting or farming. All of these things are going to help you write the story for the setting. And again, the setting doesn't have to be tons, but focus on your purpose and focus on your perspective. Anyway, good luck, and I can't wait to see what some of your writing looks like.